Browser security. In this lesson, we're going to talk about ways to secure the browser. So let's go ahead and get started. The web browser is probably used more than any other application on the operating system. This would include mobile devices as well. It's the portal to the internet and how we view websites and videos and other media. So, as you can imagine, an application this critical to our usage will also have just as many threats and vulnerabilities that's equal to its importance. We've talked a lot about security in the previous lessons, securing an operating system, securing devices. Now we're going to look at securing one of the most utilized applications on across any type of operating system or mobile platform is the browser. And again, like I said before, we use this more often than any other application. So first, let's look at the browser download, this specifically for the Windows 10 and Windows 11 operating system. Edge is the default pre-installed browser. Um, that's the base the browser that comes with the operating system. Now, if the operating system did not have Edge installed, certain versions of the operating system, like Windows Server and others, don't have Edge installed natively, and you had to download that. It's quite simple to do. Um, because Edge is a Microsoft product, we want to make sure that we download it from a trusted source, which Microsoft is. Now, there's two ways to install it. We can do an online or an offline. A little bit different in how they work. The online is a download of a small 2 megabyte application. This application, once we download it, it will run and it will pull down the rest of the files and install the browser. Or we can do what's called an offline installation. Now, an offline is like a traditional application. You download the entire application, which in this sense is the browser, and you install it just like a regular program. And you can store that installation for other installations on other devices. Now, again, because Edge is a Microsoft product, we want to make sure we download it from Microsoft, which is a trusted source. You don't want to download a browser from an untrusted source. And you can imagine the reason why. If you have a malicious site out there and you probably Google a lot of different sites or use whatever search engine you use to download a browser, and you see there's quite a few different sources you can download that browser from. Some of those applications could be malicious. Some may have tampered with that download to include malware. So that's why you want to choose a trusted source. Now, as far as the browser is concerned, the best features that extend the browser use would be extensions and plugins. Um, Extensions are a huge target for bad actors and malicious software attacks as well. Both Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome extensions and plugins can be downloaded from their respective sites. So again, verify downloading from the trusted sources. For Chrome extensions, you can download it from the chrome.google.com/web store. Edge extensions can be downloaded from microsoftedge.microsoft.com. Most browsers will allow a manual download and installation of their add-ins or extensions. Untrusted sources use this method also, but again, you want to verify the source that it is a trusted source. Now, we talked about downloads and downloading applications for further use. You've probably seen this next utilization. What we're speaking about is hashing. Hashing is the practice of using an algorithm to map data of any size to a fixed length. Hashing produces a unique output value. If the file changed, a new hash will produce a new value. So, if you've seen downloads before, you may have seen a hash or a checksum. Basically, what that means is that checksum, you can verify it to the one you download. And if it's the same, that file has not been tampered with. But if there's a change, you may be getting a different file from the original hash value of it. So again, it's used for analyzing and verifying file tampering. When storing applications for future use, it's best practice to using hash as a preventive measure. If this is an organization, this would be a good way to verify that the files that you're installing on your endpoint devices are still the same files that you created and downloaded, that no malicious actor have gotten in the way and tampered with these files. So you want to use a secure hash algorithm or SHA to create a hash of the executable. Before installing, compare the hash to the original hash. Browser settings and utilities to help again further protect your browser and thus your operating system, your data, and your network. Pop-up blockers used to prevent pop-ups and pop-unders. Now, some legitimate sites have pop-ups. You may see this in banking sites. They may have a pop-up for you to log in. You'll see a notification in your browser that there's a pop-up that has been blocked. You can allow pop-ups from certain sites, and you can do that as an ongoing basis, or you can make changes to allow pop-ups to continue from that site. Ad blockers. You may not be able to view valid sites because of ads. Some sites have ads as a way to supplement income. Um, you would not be able to view those sites until you turn off your ad blocker or subscribe to that site to see their content. Utilities, maintenance ideas for your browser. You want to get into the habit of clearing your browser data or cache, clearing any data collected from sites. This include history, download history, images, files, auto form fields, and other types of data. Clearing that data restores the browser performance. So there's the browser data and the browser cache, but they're all in all the same information. It's information that you collect when you visit websites. Different settings that you can utilize in your browser is the private browsing mode. This allows users to browse anonymously. Edge, the Edge browser, it's called in private browsing. And to access it, you would click the three dots in the right hand corner, select new in private window, and you can turn that feature on there. One thing also, as far as in your browsing, you can browse on one device and keep those settings on multiple devices that you use using a sign in through your browser data synchronization. And this is common in multiple modern browsers. Allows users to keep saved settings across several devices. Sometimes this includes saved websites as well. So modern web browsers allow the sharing of data on different browsers across different devices. Now, to sync a device, make sure you're signed in and acknowledge that you want to sync the browsing data. Now, you want to use caution when you're doing this because you may be on a work computer, but using your personal profile or personal settings, and you don't want to do that, or not only on a work computer, but other users' computers. So you want to be aware of that. So in this lesson, we talked about different browser settings, security for your browsing when you're downloading applications or add-ons, extensions and plugins, trusted sources and untrusted sources. And if you're downloading applications, specifically browser applications, you want to make sure you're hashing those and make sure they're not being tampered with because the browser is an important integral part of your operating system. Um, Also, we talked about as far as secure connections. Pop-up blockers, browsing data, clearing the cache. Those are all settings that you'd use to protect your browser. I want to thank you for joining me in this lesson, and I will talk to you again in the next lesson.